So we're going to finish up with chapter 5, which is a brief history of African Americans in the book Healing America's Narratives today. We have been speaking the last two episodes about critical race theory and intersectionality and how they have been misconstrued, misused, and abused by various folks throughout the country on both sides of the political aisle, by the way. And again, for a more in-depth view of that, please read the book. But the divide around critical race theory is consistent with and indicative of the general divide in the developmental language that we're using in the book around all of the us's, okay, all of the groups that think they're right and the other groups are wrong in this country. So again, taking critical race theory and weaponizing it to win something, taking intersectionality and weaponizing it to win something. And just as to be clear on that, what I would describe as the right weaponized critical race theory in order to attack the left, and some well-intentioned but not particularly skillful people on the left took intersectionality and weaponized it to make other people, mostly white people, feel bad. And the people who were doing that were both white and black and brown and various shades as well. So the bigger picture, again, just as it was true with the history of women, the history of Native Americans, now the history of African Americans, we'll see in the next chapter in the history of the Vietnam War, at the heart of our national shadow is this us versus them mentality. We have it, we have had it, and it seems as though we're going to continue to have it for some time to come. And until we can actually put some reality behind the phrase, the American people, a lot of politicians and even some performance news commentators use that kind of language. What does the American people really mean? Like, who defines the American people? That's a possibility. That's at some point in the future, saying the American people, there would be, this, if not unanimous, this significant majority of people who identified as Americans and agreed on what that meant. The only time we tend to do that is when something, it used to be when something really bad happened. So there was definitely an American people after Pearl Harbor. There was definitely an American people after September 11th, 2001. That didn't last as long. And there really wasn't an American people during the COVID-19 pandemic. That was divisive from the very beginning because of the initial response of the federal government. So you see the usness there. We're going to continue to explore this us-centric issue in our collective national shadow in the next episode as we introduce what led up to what transpired during and what the consequences were of the Vietnam War. All right. Thanks for listening. See you soon.